Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I feel like a newscaster. I don't know why I'm not putting the mic, clipping it on like normal. Hold on. Today, I am going to be clearing some stuff out. We're going to do a bit of spring cleaning in the winter because this is getting to be too much. If you're new here, hi, I am Brooke. This is my channel where I talk about houseplants and do different DIYs. So if you are interested in that, make sure to subscribe so you can see more videos like this one. And if you are a recurring viewer, thank you so much for coming back and watching another video. And today is spring cleaning. So I have stuff that needs to be removed from my greenhouse, little, whatever this thing is, shelving unit at this point. And up here is just craziness. I have random pots everywhere, which that's pretty good. You can't even see that. Disappeared. But I can see it and it's bothering me. So I need to do some cleaning out and rearrange a few things because it's just becoming a lot. So this is my plant room / child's playroom / office. And so I feel like a lot happens here, but pretty much it's just been taken over by plants at this point, and my kids' train tables. So I need to clean up some of the stuff and definitely do some purging. And so I think it's a good idea every year to kind of look through your plants and do a purge. I did this last year and it was really satisfying and helpful because I just had plants that I was holding on to that I did not need. And I found better homes for them to go to. Some of them went into the garbage, but some of them did find better homes. So that is kind of what I'm going to be doing today. I'm going to be figuring out what needs to go and what can stay. And so there are a lot of plants in my greenhouse here that just can't stay. And so I need to do some figuring out there. I mean, I literally have trays of plants. This is bad. I mean, I normally don't feel bad about my plants. Like I know I have a lot of plants and people come over and they're just like, wow, what is this? That doesn't make me feel bad. Like that's fine because there are a lot of plants, you know, per other people. But now there are like just too many plants. And like this is getting a lot to me. Like where I have trays of plants just sitting on my table. Like this is a tray of the Pothos marble. I think it's a marble queen. I don't know, that I got from Lowe's. I did a short on it and somebody asked for an update. Here's your update. This is where they've been because I had to repot them. I had to take it off. It was dry rot. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you can go look at my short. So I had to repot them up in what was left in these separate pots to try and salvage what I could. And actually they have all bounced back. So I'm happy about that. But I literally have 2 more trays of plants just sitting up here. And so I need to go through them because this can't be. I can't have trays of plants like I'm serving someone, but nobody's coming to be served. So I'm going to go through, see what I have, see what I can consolidate and what just needs to be either pitched because there are some dead plants in here that they just need to be thrown out. I just need to say goodbye. Or what can be sold and what can be, you know, used in a different area of my home. So that is what we're doing today. So make sure you grab some coffee or something because it's probably going to be a long one. Got my cookie. Got my coffee. Hopefully I have enough sugar. Forgot to get water for my Monstera Thai, which needs to be watered. But we're going to start pulling trays out of my greenhouse. Okay. And then see what I have. So this tray is going to go over here. Why do I have trays of plants? Maybe you're asking yourself this. Why do you have so many plants? So in December of last year, I did a booth. I had a plant booth at a local shop. And it was really fun and really awesome. But, you know, you don't sell all your plants in one day, in one thing. And so I have all of these leftover plants that are now just sitting here. So these are little 2-inch pots and they're just an arrangement of things. So like this, I have a radiatum, little philodendron. I have a lot of micans here. Actually, like these are all micans. I have some Brazil that are doing really well. This is a painted lady, I believe. Yeah, it's a painted lady. This is a little Mayoi. Look how tiny that is. But yeah, this is pretty much the same thing. Mayoi, radiatum, micans. And so this is like one of my micans. It's got a yellow leaf there because I've left them up there and forgot to water them. So that was the other half. Is like, yeah, I'm getting yellow leaves now because I'm forgetting to water them. Which, fun fact, your plants, oh, this is a melanochrysum, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to be a dead one. But anyways, fun fact is your leaves on your plants, they may be turning yellow, not because of overwatering, but because of underwatering as well. So just check that. But I have forgotten about them because they've just been sitting up here. Like these. These look sad. This is a silver sword. Yeah, this one is a radiatum. That's probably going to be a toss. And so pretty much I just need to go through and check what's still standing. Because honestly, I, after the event, just stuck them here and I didn't look at them pretty much again. So it was around Christmas time, so it got really busy and I just kind of left them. So I need to check which ones are actually surviving still and which ones are not, because I have a feeling there are a lot more that are not surviving. So I'm just going to open up my little Amazon greenhouse cabinet thingy, mabob. I don't know. I have a video on this last year. It actually sat out in my garage and did extremely well. It housed all of my propagations. So anything I was propagating, I put them out in the garage greenhouse. And they did really well out there, but it is winter. I had to bring it inside. And now it just kind of houses what's growing, again, from the little pop-up shop that I did and some propagations. So I really need to look through those as well. But I really truly need to figure out what I can, group together and pot up together so that I don't have 100 little 2-inch pots everywhere that need to be watered constantly. So I'm going to take some out and we'll see what we got. I also see a dying cactus back here. How does one let a cactus die? Sorry, we're on a different subject, but that's your growth. The one has died off. That's completely new. So, okay, I might just keep that. And that's where it sits. Okay, so this currently is at 73 degrees, 65%, 66% humidity. And so when it was outside, it was getting like 90% humidity. Plants honestly loved it. They did not mind it at all. But in here, it does get lower humidity and a lower temperature. I actually had to bring in a small space heater into this room because it's one of the coldest rooms in our home. I don't know why. Apparently they just didn't, I don't know, even out the pipes, or not pipes, but the flow. But yeah, that's usually what it sits at. Like I would say that that's pretty much what it's at constantly. It is also against an outside wall. So this is an outside wall. This is not an inside wall. And so it does get cold. So all that to say, let's pull these out. So right off the bat, we have some Syngonium albos here. It's by far one of my favorite plants to own. It's so beautiful. And these were all propagated from my mother plant, which actually you see sitting right here. And so this is so beautiful. Great little variegation. Look at that. So beautiful. So I will keep those. Oh, that might need to be repotted. So I'll keep those obviously as is. Oh my goodness, this one has roots growing out the bottom too. So I need to check on those. But beautiful plants. I might split them again. Easy and fast growers. Like, I mean, insanely quick to grow. Then what else do I have on this tray? So things that didn't do so well. So again, I did this pop-up in December outside, and obviously plants take to the elements. They do not like the cold. I know that. I understand that. I thought that they would just do a little bit better for a little bit longer, or they wouldn't a little bit better for a little bit longer, but that they could take the cold for just a little bit. Like it was about maybe 6 hours. And we were in a covered little greenhouse area. So it wasn't as cold as it could be, but it was pretty chilly at some points in the day. And they took a beating, and I didn't think about that at all. So that is one thing. If you are doing a show or a pop-up with plants and it is outside, think about bringing a space heater, because they will react. I was really happy because The plants that reacted the worst were actually plants that I didn't sell. And I'm so thankful. I think that that's the Lord, because I would have felt horrible selling that to somebody and then it depleting immediately. And so I was really grateful that no one bought my string of hearts. My string of hearts did not make it. Oh, this is the turtles. Oh yeah, it did not make it. So that's going to be a no-go. This string of hearts, holding on, but it didn't make it. Some of the string of turtles did do better than others, I guess. Like you have this one. This one right here is doing so well and it's growing like so great. I love it. That's awesome. This one here is doing really well as well. And growing, and that's awesome. But yeah, that did not make it. My brandy surprisingly did really well. I figured that would be a dead one. But what else did not do well? Hold on, where's it at? My Monstera Stanleyanas, a lot of them did not do well. This is probably the only one left that I have, and it's growing really well, but it did not take well to the temperature and immediately just depleted. And I could see that while I was there, and I kind of took them. And so I would not do that again. I would make sure that I have a heat source to alleviate that issue. So plants, yeah, that was kind of random. I didn't think that the Monstera would do that. I kind of thought it would be a little bit hardier. I for sure thought the brandy would be dead, but look at this thing. It's actually doing really well. So this tray, it's got some Brazils in here as well. They're doing really well. This is the last, string of hearts. It's just like, yeah, but I was really thankful that no one bought them. And I honestly probably would never sell them again. So that is something that I propagated from my mother plant and split, and it did really well. They propagated very easily and grew extremely well. It's just, I think that cold shock just killed them off. But we have a few yellowing leaves here. This is the mother leaf of Epiprimnum albo. I just have not watered this. I've not watered this. This guy is just hanging on. This is the white knight, but it's like not a white knight. I was selling it for like really, cheap because it's pointless. It does not have any variegation. It's basically reverted. But that is this tray. So my Syngoniums, I did sell a few of these at the show, and they did really well. They're just super hardy apparently, and grow vigorously. So it's an awesome plant to get. But what else do we have here? This is just a propagation vessel of dead leaves, pretty much. This is like Pink Princess, Silver Sword, Cebu Blue. These were not for sale, by the way. These were just propagations that I had. Yeah, this was like a mother plant. I did have some Pink Princesses available. I did sell one and they did fine. But this is like what's left of my mother plant that I had at one point, but I need to go through those and clean that up. Ooh, this was not for sale either, but it's just been growing in here. I need to water it. Is my Esqueleto cuttings, and they've been growing really well. This leaf, this is a mother leaf. This is a cutting, I think. Did this cutting grow, or is this on the plant and I think I cut it off? Either way, these are growing. They do not have roots growing up the bottom. I have not checked on them in several months, so maybe I'll look into that, but otherwise I'm just spilling everything everywhere. Unless I need a trash bag. Maybe I'll go get a trash bag. This is another plant that I had for sale, and it did really well. This is a Periso Verde. It doesn't have the greatest variegation on it. This was all cuttings from my mother plant, which is in my bedroom now. So I have this guy. He's done really well. He has a new growth on the way. Easy to grow plants, I would say. It's just their variegation is not awesome. If you want the high variegation, which you can't even really see the variegation very well, you might be able to see it on the back maybe. I don't even know. But if you want them to grow really well, you need to give them heat. So they are heat, not required, but heat variegation. I don't know what else to say about that, but has a ton of extra floral nectaries right now, which is not surprising, but I'm just kind of making sure it's also not anything else, which it's not. Just a lot of extra floral nectaries. So that guy, he's doing well, and actually I'm just going to put him back in the cabinet. This is my Syngonium Frost or Chiapense or whatever. To be fairly honest, I think I'm going to throw this away because I bought the plant and I really liked it. It was great. However, it just is a pest magnet of some sort. I could not figure out what pest was like attacking it. And these leaves, they're also yellowing and dying off. I've had it sitting in there for quite some time. Each of the leaves do have new growth points coming off of them. However, I just feel like it's not a plant for me. I loved the leaves, thought that they were really interesting. And I got this for $14 in a larger pot. And this is what's left of it. And so I honestly feel like I just don't want to care for that. It's not something that I truly want to put energy into figuring out what pest it is and dealing with that. So it's probably just going to go away. Also, a good purging helpful tip is if you are experiencing a pest problem on one specific plant, way more than the rest of your plants, then it's probably a good idea to just get rid of it. It's not worth it, unless it's absolutely worth it to you. That plant's not worth it to me. It's 2 leaves that are left, and they're already starting to yellow and turn and look the same as the mother plant was. And so I threw away the mother plant because I was over it. But if the plant is causing you that much issues and stress, and you're constantly having to figure out what it is, like, it's probably not the best plant to have in your collection and to put forth the energy. Again, unless it's like a really high, I don't even know, expensive plant that you really absolutely want to keep. Then this is not one that was for sale, but I have a philodendron soderoy here. I cut it all the way back and have been growing it from that little cutting of the original mother plant, and it's sprouted out. It has not left my greenhouse cabinet. It is an easy to care for plant in your greenhouse. Absolutely not easy to care for outside of that situation. Same for the brandy. I have not been able to keep a philodendron brandy alive unless it is in a terrarium or my greenhouse. So this guy will probably forever live in here. Another plant that lives in my greenhouse is my other Purge Verde. So this is a different plant that I purchased after I got my original plant. So look at this beautiful variegation. You can see here I was talking about. But as soon as I got it under my care, look, all green. And it's because I'm not giving it the temperature that it likes. And I just can't figure out how to get it there, honestly. It's very difficult. And so I think that I was watching Leafy Diva, and she lives in New Orleans. And over the summer, like maybe a couple years ago, I don't really recall, she had her Purge Verde by the window, and it started being like this really great variegation in white. And then she moved it back, I think, and it started pushing out the green. And that's when she figured out, like, oh, it's a temperature based. And so I believe she said that her house got up to like 90 degrees when it was pushing out the really great variegation. Again, she has a video on that, so you can go confirm there. But yeah, it only pushes out the green foliage, and it barely has any variegation. Like, I mean, it is incredibly hard to see, and it's just very splotchy, basically. I mean, this is splotchy, but it's like this, just really dark, and it almost looks ill. Actually, it almost looks like it shouldn't be that way. But this guy just forever lives probably in here as well, because I don't, again, know what to do. Don't know what to do with it. So my greenhouse cabinet, or this isn't even a greenhouse cabinet, it's an open air thing. So air can flow in and out of it. It is not a sealed. And so they have 2 Sansi lights up here. These are the clip lights, and I have a clip light right here as well. And then underneath here, these are Barina grow lights that are on the actual shelves. And so they're the 5 watt, so they're not high wattage at all whatsoever. The clip-on lights, I think, are the 15 watt, maybe. That sounds about right. Or maybe that's the 5 watt. I'm sorry, I think they do 5, 10. 20. So I think that they're the 5 watt as well. So it's not like it's getting an extreme amount of light in here. And that's okay because my plants sit very close to it. And so if you have a higher wattage light, you're most likely going to burn your leaves. And so that's just what I've always had in here. This is what's under my cabinets too, or Barina grow lights. It's kind of what I've solely used all over my house. Next to my Sansi 35 watt, which is over here and in my living room. To do with this tray, I kind of need to go through and trash some stuff. So I'm going to go get a garbage bag so I can begin throwing away what I don't want. Okay, got my garbage bag. Do I want to throw away? What do I want to throw away? So Syngonium, definitely tossing. Just over it. Can't do it anymore. Can't do it. So then I'm also going to be throwing away probably this Philodendron radiatum. It's just silly, okay? It doesn't need to be here. I'm sorry, I'm throwing it away. Throwing away the tag, it is gone. I just can't keep it. This Melanochrysum, no, I just can't stand Melanochrysum anymore anyways. It's literally like, I have a few other Melanochrysums, so that was a baby one, but Melanochrysums are the same as Brandies, like can't keep them anymore. This beautiful string of turtles I will absolutely be keeping. It's doing super well and just growing. Oh, so cute, growing on the downside. I love string of turtles. They're the only string of things that I've been able to take care of. I do have a very good string of hearts that I have and have taken care of. That's what the propagation's like for my little string of hearts, which will also be going away unless somebody wants this. Let's see it. It does have a rhizome. Okay, maybe I will keep that one. I'm going to keep that one because it doesn't, it's just the other half of it died off. But that one is doing really well. So I'll hold on to it. This string of turtles though, absolutely going in the trash. Turtles, I really do love them. The string of hearts, I love that as well. I've been able to keep that one alive and have them under my 5 watt Barina grow lights in my bedroom. I did split it and propagate it. And it did really well, and it was easy to propagate in sphagnum moss and perlite. I did both. This guy I will keep. It's just hideous. It's a white knight, but shocking because white knights don't grow well to begin with. This again is my brandy. I need to cut that dead leaf off. I'm really surprised that this one honestly took the cold and survived. Like this brandy is doing really well. They are beautiful plants and I really do love it, but it just requires an extreme amount of humidity and it wants to climb. Look at that. It's already like it wants to climb something. So I think if you give it that, let it climb, I think it would be a great plant. I just don't have the humidity for it. I need to like clip this bag somewhere. Clip it on here. So this just needs to be cleaned up. This mother leaf is yellowing and I need to water it. I need to water a lot of these plants. Oh! I got it. Caught it. Got it. We're good. Solid. I absolutely do cut the yellow leaves off. I do not leave them. Same for this guy. I'm just kind of cut it off. I don't care. Some people want to leave them on and get upset when you don't, but it's okay. This literally is nothing left. This is a string of hearts variegated. There is nothing left, which is quite the bummer. I don't know what to say about that. There's nothing there. The string of turtles I will keep. It's doing really well. It's got a ton of new little growth points there. So this little Epiprimnum albo, I am probably going to consolidate with this one here too, just because like that's, oh yeah, I cut the mother leaf off of that one. Sorry, cut the mother leaf off of both of them. This is a little just, oh, this is a philodendron. This is not a Brazil. My husband labeled this wrong. Ugh. No, I'm just kidding. He did label it wrong though. It is his handwriting, I promise. This is just a regular old heartleaf, just a heartleaf philodendron. This is an esqueleto. It kind of got a little burnt, I will tell you, but it did really well. Like it has a new growth point coming through. I did not have this available, but yeah, this was grown from a cutting, from a stick, from a wet stick propagation. So from this tray, I am going to combine these two. No. All right, these are like my little micans. They just need to be watered and they're doing really well, except for that one leaf right there, but I will water it and hopefully it will bounce back up. This little Brazil is doing super well. So my Brazil has made it. So this is my Mayoi too. It's a very juvenile Mayoi, and this is a Mayoi as well. I think I'm just going to put them up together. It's a little painted lady, and it's grown really well. Look at its tiny little leaves. I need to water this bad. Another Micans that is doing extremely well. This one does not seem to be bothered by the drought, but I'll just put it back on the tray. So I had a lot of Mandula pothos, and I honestly feel like I got through most of those. Yeah, I have a few of them left, but I sold through those. Those did really well at the show. But yeah, Philodendron Mayoi, Radiatum. Honestly, is there another Radiatum? These are Silver Swords. I don't even know if I had this. Oh, this was an unnamed Philodendron. Silver Swords. I'm just going to be done with it. I don't care. This is an unnamed philodendron that I have in my collection. My husband brought it home in 2020, and they were just going to throw it away. And it was massive. It was like 30 feet long of plant, just all jumbled up into this 8-inch pot. And I took it and I separated it and propagated it, and I've grown it in a few different locations. I've given a lot of it away to friends and sold some of them, but I couldn't tell you what it is because I've never grown it large enough. I have one pot that was in my cabinet, but outgrew my cabinet. It just burst. And so I removed it from there. But maybe one day I'll figure out what it is. This Radiatum, do I want to keep you? I mean, to be fair, you're doing fine. But yeah, sure. Okay, so these ones are going to be potted up together. These Mayois. I'm going to put this back here, Esqueleto. All right, so I cleared that tray out. This, oh yeah, the unnamed philodendron. So many decisions. This Radiatum, I'm throwing it away. It's not that the plant was bad, it's just like, I really do have to figure out what I need to keep and what's growing well and what's not. So, throwing it away. This brandy is gonna go back on my tray. String of turtles are gonna go back on my tray. And I will spare this string of hearts. Okay, so this is now one tray. I consolidated the 2 trays to 1, and I feel good about that. So I'm going to put this one back up at the top, and I will water it after this video. Okay, so 1 tray down, several more to go. Oh shoot, I forgot about these guys. So these will just go back on this little tray for right now. Okay, so that's tray 1 and 2. And now this up here is clear. So let's go down to tray 2. This is just a bunch of heart leaves. I really need to go through my water propagations because I have several of them and just toss out. Like these are Cebu Blues. I believe this is a brandy, and then this is a silver sword. And to be fairly honest with you, I kind of just want to throw away all of them. This is again, random pot of, why did I just say Mandula? It's not. This is a Maranta Silver Band, and I love this plant. I love Marantas, by far one of my favorites. And so there's just a ton of little different Marantas in here, a Cebu Blue. But this Maranta Silver Band sits in my bedroom underneath my Barina Grow Light, and I need to probably water it. Like, look at all those roots. Maranta are actually very easy to propagate, and they're in the family of Calathea. And Calathea you cannot propagate, you have to split them. But Marantas you can propagate just like you would a pothos or a monstera, philodendron, etc. Okay, now this is exciting propagation vessel, okay? So number 1, I have a Syngonium alba over here doing beautifully, but I have a Plough-Manny in here. So I took some Plough-Manny cuttings last year from my Plough-Manny mother plant, which you cannot see. It's in this black pot right here. I chopped it all back because it was just growing wild. It honestly just was growing out. And so these are, I believe, crawlers, but it was acting like a climber. And it's because it was a tissue culture. It was a small plant, not at its mature state. So I kind of chopped it all back and split it up in hopes that I could get it to its more mature state, just like one single one. But this has done really well, these propagations. Absolutely beautiful plant, beautiful foliage. It's quite like a mammy eye in the fact that it's the silver and all of that. It's the same, kind of the same deal, honestly. But mammy eye is also a crawler. I have that one in my office over here. But it's just a beautiful plant. I have some epiprimnums albos growing in here from tiny little sticks, so do not have a leaf on them. This one does have a leaf over here somewhere yonder, but this is just a cutting. And I just literally stuck in here to see if it would grow out, and it did. But then I have an all white, true albo syngonium leaf right here. I think it's coming off of this leaf here, but anyways, this is done really well. I probably should separate these at some point and look at what their root system's like, because this Plowmanny probably needs to be removed. That was another plant that did not do well. So I had Plowmanny cuttings and mammy eye cuttings that I was selling, like not cuttings, but plants. And no, they depleted. It was really bad. So they did not like the winter vibes at all whatsoever. But I was thankful that nobody purchased any of them. So they didn't have to go home to a disappointed plant. All right, this is one of the things. Okay, this is one of the things that I need to probably just get rid of this. This is crazy. This is nuts. This is a variegated Maranta. It is one of my first Marantas, like variegated Marantas that I got. And I actually purchased it from Lowe's in a little 3-inch pot. Then I just grew it and it started to grow, beautifully. However, I just, I don't know, Marantas have their lifespan for sure in your home. They like to be constantly watered. You have to use filtered water. They do not like to dry out, and they don't love they don't love to be moved. They like to be stay in their spot. And so I kind of just moved the guy around constantly. Forgot to water it multiple times. And so I just ended up chopping it all back because it was dying off. And so you can see the one part that is variegated still. There was only one part that was variegated. Look at that cute little pink spot. But the rest of it was just a regular little green, like Leucaner or something. Couldn't even tell you. But look at these roots. It's lived in here for, I'm serious, probably a year. And it just kind of continuously pushes off new growth. Old dies off, which that's a normal life cycle. But what am I doing with this? Nothing. It just needs to be tossed. I do have another variegated Maranta that I purchased for $10. And it does well. It's in my bedroom. I need to put it in a self-watering pot. If you do have a Maranta or Calathea, put them in self-watering pots. That's the only time I'll say put them in a self-watering pot. And make sure you use filtered water because they will thrive. So I have done that with my Calathea ormifolia. I have a whole little short on that, how I created a self-watering pot, and it's done very well. But this guy, as sad as it is, and as excited as I was to get this plant, it just needs to be thrown away. Because again, I found it at Lowe's for $3. Yeah, it was $3 in a 4-inch pot, sorry. So this is the variegated part. It has nothing at all. But yeah, I think I just might end up throwing this out the door. Oh, but the one little pink spot, maybe I'll keep that. Look at that. Maybe I'll put that in my other guy. No, where are you? But see, all the variegated parts don't really have that many roots, versus the unvariegated parts have an extreme amount of roots. So, like this, I don't even know. Maybe I'll just keep the the variegated parts. See, this is one of those plants that it holds a soft spot for some reason, but I'm just going to toss the rest of it. Okay, so we'll see how long that lasts. I might come back today and throw it away, but this is the variegated part. So then, I honestly couldn't even tell you what this is. I believe it's a Mayoi. I'm 99% positive, yeah, that this is a Mayoi. And do I want it? No. Do I have a lot of them? Yes. Sorry, throwing it away. These were just propagations, by the way. So They just didn't root like the others did. I have several other propagations that I will show you probably on this tray. And they just those didn't take to the rooting process like the other ones did. Okay, so this is a full tray of lots of good stuff. So I have here my last two Mandula pothos. So those were, I would say, a hit at the show. So these Mandulas, love them. They did great. It's like any other pothos, you know, they are pretty hardy, but it's just got these really like globe-like leaves, beautiful variegation, very creamy and yellowy, unlike a golden pothos that is more like a green and neon yellow or whatnot. Beautiful plant. Those again, I think I sold several of those. I wish I would have counted how many I brought with me, but that was popular. So again, I only have 2 of them left here. So beautiful plant. I have a mother plant in my bedroom that sits under a a Barina 5-watt grow light. Okay, so that was these trays. These are doing extremely well. I'm not gonna do anything with those. I'm gonna throw away these dead leaves though that were on the tray. This is the Scindapsus. The Scindapsus did well, which I was really surprised about. I did sell these. So these, I don't know. I was talking to somebody there and they're like, what's an easy to care for plant? And I pointed out several and then I said, I said, it's a beautiful plant, but it's not an easy to care for plant in my personal experience. They are temperamental. You do have to keep them well watered. They do like a lot of light in order to get those big foliage or big leaves like this. I burnt this one, by the way, on the grow light. So this is just a prime example, but they are not as hardy as some other Scindapsus and pothos, but they ended up purchasing it. And so I pray that it's doing well, but this one survived, did really well. This, I don't know what specific type of Scindapsus this is, if it's like an exotica, but it's got really large leaves. I, again, chopped up my mother plant that I have in my bedroom, shocking, underneath the Barina grow light, and they propagated very well. So this is a Philodendron Florida green, or is it a green or just Florida? It's just the green version. It's not variegated. It's not the beauty. It's not the ghost. It's just green. Really easy to care for plant. Did really well. So keep that one. Another plant that did extremely well is this right here. This Philodendron El Choco Red. I did sell one of these. Beautiful plant. I love it. I have 2 other ones that are my like mother plants. And so beautiful plant. Absolutely love their foliage with the red backings. Very easy to care for as far as a velvet leaf philodendron goes. Typically the velvet leaves to me are harder to grow for philodendron. They also have more pest issues, hence the melanochrysum, why I can't do it anymore. But this guy is just a beautiful plant. Love it. This is a gigantic silver sword. Silver swords are incredibly easy to grow. And I mean, they just like continuously grow. They just never stop. So mine was actually climbing up my wall. It was growing so well. It grew off of my moss pole onto the wall. And was climbing up. And so I decided to chop it all back. These are the 2 mother leaves right here. And you can definitely tell there's some stressing there. They're probably going to yellow off and die soon because this is all the new growth that has come from them. So they get like these really beautiful, large silver leaves. They actually do not stay like this color. If you grow them to their full potential, they will not stay this beautiful shimmering, like it's like an aqua, like faded aqua blue. They grow to a more, normal philodendron green color. So they are a beautiful color. I will tell you, this is stressing here. So this guy is growing so much, again, because they are prolific growers. If you want a fast growing plant that is easy to care for and beautiful, this is it. But it grows so fast. It's growing up into my light. I need to do something about it. I would need to probably put it at the top and switch some of those out, but it's starting to get sun stressed. And you can tell that because the color is like this really pretty silver color, and it's beautiful actually. But it's just that's not normal. So it's not yellowing, it's just silver, this like very, very light color. And it's really pretty, but again, it means that you need to move it away from the light. It's getting a little stressed out. So another plant here that I just threw in the mix. This is my reverted Jose Bono. It's actually a cutting that I took from my original plant, which I moved that one into my bedroom as well. The mother plant is growing fine, but it's not pushing out any variegation. So you can see the slight variegation here. See all that patchiness? But this leaf looks to be, no, it's not. I was gonna say it looks kind of yellowing, but maybe it's just the light or the variegation. But after that leaf, it pretty much did nothing. So these were the leaves down here that were the two mother plants leaves, leaves, I mean. And then again, it just started pushing out non-variegation, a little bit of variegation and non-variegation. So I'm not really sure what to do for these guys. I do have a Jose Bono right here. And all I can say is if you want a high variegation like this for a Jose Bono, get one that has a high variegation. When I purchased this, the previous one I just shared, it did not have high variegation. And it was right at the beginning of when those were really popular and really hard to find. And so I found it. And again, it was like $20 and it did not have good variegation at all whatsoever. So I recently purchased this last year. It's got really great variegation, beautiful foliage, and it just continues to grow that way. So again, if you're looking for a high variegated plant like Jose Bono, get one that has high variegation. So anyways, I just stuck that one in there for funsies. And yeah, I don't know, maybe somebody can get it to come back to its state. But again, this one's getting a little bit too tall for its area. And I can definitely tell that it's stressing out. So I need to move it to the top. Then here's my lovely little philodendron sudoroy. Yeah, I'm throwing it away. Bye. Just like a brandy, it just needs extreme humidity, and I'm just kind of over it. It did really well at the show, like nothing, you know, it didn't die off or anything, but I'm just over it. I just don't want to look at it anymore. So this is another little plowmani. So this tiny little guy, he's starting to grow out a new leaf. It's just a fun little plant. Beautiful foliage again, so I'll hold on to him. This is one of my pink princesses that I didn't sell. I sold one that was a better variegation, but this is basically no variegation. As you can see here, it's just a burgundy. So I'll hold on to it. So I need to move some plants on my top shelf because I need to put these bigger plants up there. This is another little tray here that was on that second shelf. This is my El Choco red baby, and it's so cute. It's grown really well, so I'll keep it in there. And then this is just a propagation of random stuff. This is a Micans. I actually think this was a, what? But anyways, I think this is my mother Micans where I cut all of it off of. And this is a reverted albo that I have. And I have it in several spots in my house, just seeing if it would ever push back new growth in it, or like white growth, and it hasn't. I got it for free, by the way. So it just sits back here in this cabinet. Okay, so move those around. Put my smaller guys down there, and then I'll put these guys down here too. I'm going to remove my propagations and probably put them somewhere else. I need to find a tray though. Oh, tray for my little plowmani. Okay, everything in here too is on a tray so that I can go through, water them with my pump sprayer and not worry about the water draining down to the carpet or having to take them out and take them to the sink. Okay, so we'll worry about my propagations in water a little later. So let's check out the third shelf. Okay, this is a plant that I just purchased. This is an Anthurium pallidiflorum. I kept it in here. It has a new leaf emerging. And actually, is it dead? No, it's emerging. Okay, good. But this is a plant that I got from Green Acres in Irving. And I just kept it immediately, put it in my cabinet. And I'm just going to keep it in there to see like how it grows. But The foliage is so fascinating and just it's actually velvety. So excited to see how this grows. Okay, so this tray right here. These have my better philodendron white knights on them. So this at least does have a little bit of nice variegation on them, but nothing much. I'm going to keep them. They're not growing terribly. This is a baby gloriosum that's doing really well. This one though, this is a beautiful white knight, okay? If white knights, if I knew it would grow like this constantly, I would definitely love it. This is a beautiful variegation, but they just don't. They don't grow like that. It's just incredibly unstable. This is a Monstera Esqueleto. Hold on. Okay, Monstera Esqueleto that I did have available at the show, and it's got, you know, the one leaf and then the new leaf that it just pushed out. It's so cute, and it actually pushed out a leaf. Shocking. So this guy will keep. And then this is another half of my reverted Jose Bono. Again, same thing, nothing, no variegation on it, just all green. This tray right here of all good gloriosums and my beautiful epiprimnums that are growing really well. And then I can see a dead string of something here. Hearts, maybe? Yeah, hearts. Nothing left there. Throwing that away. So I also have an epiprimnum, or I'm sorry, not an epiprimnum, a Monstera Esqueleto. This was a really tiny little baby one, and it has a new leaf coming out as well. So we have a lot of gloriosums here that are just doing really well. Man, this is a massive leaf that's going to be emerging here with that guy. Beautiful plant. I love my gloriosum. I think that it's a great plant. So these are all beautiful and look great. I'm going to keep them as is here. This one looks, it's got a little bit of a yellowing, but this has a massive, like, just it's starting to grow as it should, which is to crawl, but it's got a really great shoot coming out of it. So beautiful plants, keeping those guys. This one is growing extremely well, as you can see here. Look at that guy. This is great. I actually might take this one right here that isn't growing as quickly and add to him from that small pot. But this has at least 3 plants in each pot, but this guy's doing really well. It's just taking off, so keep him. And then 2 baby gloriosums also here, moving the baby ones out of the way. So I'll take that epiprimnum, I will put him with another one, and then what else do I have here? Let's go to the bottom tray. The bottom tray, I have this Micans that is just absolutely going crazy. So Micans, they want high light, they want a lot of humidity, and they want to be well watered. Said that really weird, well watered. But this guy is just a testament. They are beautiful plants. I just cannot grow them outside of my greenhouse cabinet situation. But I mean, the plant's leaves are beautiful. This just dark burgundy velvet, gorgeous plant, super easy to care for otherwise. It's just that humidity situation. And they like to climb. This one's going crazy. And it's getting stuck everywhere. Oh my goodness. More plants. Yay. So I have a propagation vessel of some Melanochrysum and Stanleyana right here. I'm going to pull out. These are jungle boogies, and they're awesome. One of my favorite plants. Super easy to care for. This is, yes, the Ring of Fire. What they are like, this is just the plain green version, but really easy to care for. Just big guys. Look at how big these are. So I'll keep them there. I might put them on this tray up here. Okay, so we're putting this tray back in. Okay, one plant that I forgot on my 3rd shelf to show is my beautiful variegated burley marks. This is off of my mother plant, my original plant that sits right here. I do have another one that on the other side now. It's a larger plant. But I took this from a cutting. It has 3 cuttings in it, and so they are growing extremely well. Just love this plant so much. This was available, and I was so bummed when nobody bought it because I was like, this is a great little plant. And I'm not selling these for like a crazy price either. That's one thing to say, is like, I made sure that like if I'm going to buy it, I would pay for it. Like that's how I kind of priced my plants. Like, am I going to pay for this? So I did not price it out crazy. I priced it out to what I actually paid for my original mother plant, which was 3 cuttings as well. So I love this guy. I will keep on to him. Then I have just a ton of cuttings of my golden pothos. Like, it's just so much. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I probably need to pot it up or do something with it. Okay, and then the very last tray that I have here, filled with mayo eyes. Okay, these are all mayo eye cuttings from my mother plant, and I'm probably not even going to take them off of this tray. Like, I'm just going to leave them, but they're doing really well. They're all growing. Super easy, fun, beautiful plant, easy to care for, and I have quite a few other Scindapsus here. And then I have one, oh, that guy survived, Monstera Stanleyana elbow. I need to take that one out. Do I have any other? I do. Oh, so maybe my Stanleyanas did make it. Maybe I just buried them. This guy's doing really well. These are really easy to, like, quick growers. They're not as easy to care for. They do require a lot of light and want to be well watered. They do not like to dry out, but they climb and grow like crazy. My mother plant, I am constantly, and I truly mean constantly, cutting it back. So this tray, it's just going to go back down there. It's doing great. They all are doing extremely well. And so they have aerial roots growing out the wazoo. Look at this guy. Like, you can see all their aerial roots. So super easy plant, fast grower, and just a really pretty foliage. Like, look at that. So beautiful. Placing them back. This is what I'm left with, all these little baby cuttings and all my propagations. And so what am I going to do? So I'm going to put some cuttings or little baby plants on here. Okay, so all those fit down there. Then I'm going to do the same here. Those guys there. And then I need to pot up these like 3. These 3 right here, I need to pot up together into one pot. So I'll do that. And then same for these 3 mayo eyes. I need to pot up together in one pot. And so now I guess I'm left with cuttings. So I need to look at my cuttings. So this thing, I'm not going to plant right now. These are just golden pothos. Nothing to write home about, but I'm going to plant it over here or put it over here. Okay, and then I've got these cuttings, which honestly I'm just going to throw away. It's pointless. Then I have these guys right here. This is all my like pink princess and stuff. I think I'm just going to pull my pink princess out and throw the rest away. So these pink princesses have barely rooted, and they've been in here for months. So I'm sticking them back with my my Mantua, golly, my variegated Maranta, and see if they root. I've heard that if you put a quick growing or fast rooting plant in with a slow rooting plant, that it can help them grow better. Not sure that that's true. We'll see if this works. Otherwise, I'm throwing all of these away. These Marantas and stuff, they're just going to stay in there. I'm not going to touch them. These cuttings, I guess they can stay there. They're rooting fairly well. I haven't had them in there that long. And then all of these guys. So I'm going to pull out this. This is a melanochrysum, bunch of melanochrysum cuttings. I have 2 other melanochrysums over there. So this is an unnamed philodendron that I'm just going to throw away. It's like my unnamed philodendron. I have a ton of Scindapsus. I'm sorry, I'm just going to throw them away. This is an unnamed philodendron. Maybe I should keep this. Like, I have them, but I've seen people do like Patreons, which I don't have a Patreon. I'm not that, like, I don't have that many people following me, but maybe I should wait into spring and see like if I can't gift these or something. I don't know. So this is my one melanochrysum that's doing really well and rooted well. This is another one. Another melanochrysum. Another melanochrysum with an incredibly tiny baby leaf. Stanleyana albo that's not rooted and hasn't rooted for like the ones that were in there that were fully rooted and growing. That's the same amount of time that one has been in there. What we're left with out of that whole thing. I'll keep the melanochrysum. So now this propagation vessel is going to stay the same. It's doing really well. I'm not going to touch these guys. Okay, I feel far better about that. I got rid of a full tray, so I have no other plants up here. I don't have as many propagation vessels. I will be consolidating the few plants that I said, and anything else. Anything else at all. I have a lot of room down there. Oh yeah, this one. This is a plow mani that didn't make it, and it seems to be having like some struggles getting out, so I'm throwing it away. Sorry. But I'm keeping the soil. The soil is all my mix, and it's just still good, so keeping that. Okay, what else do we got here? On this shelf of random propagations, we have a ton of Scindapsus. See, this is why I said I'm throwing the other ones away, because look how many I have. A ton, and they're all doing well. I just need to figure out now what to do with them, so let's check on them. I do see some dead leaves here, though. Oh my gosh. Oh, that scared me. I have two. Why do I have that? Why do I have that? I have like, wow. I have, I understand why I did that. I made it so that I fill water with this. I put them in here and they rooted through it. And I mean, they are well rooted. That one needs to just be potted up, just like all of it needs to be potted up. So this was a mother plant that I had growing for a while, and it was just growing really leggy and just a lot of vines. And so I chopped them all up, placed them in the water here, put them under my Barina grow lights, and that's how well they've grown. That's how well they're rooted. Like, that's an incredible amount of roots, and I love to see that. But now I just need to figure out what to do with that. So I really don't want another Scindapsus plant, but maybe I'll combine it with my mother plant in my bedroom. I think that's a good idea. Okay, what else do I have? I have these. So this is from that. I'm throwing it away. I'm sorry. These two leaves I will keep. These are from, that's just rotted out, the little marble queen thing, pothos that I had. I did, again, shared it earlier in this video. Just cut off two leaves that were literally on a stem of nothing, and just took what I had. So I'll put those in here with this other propagation mess. I need to water them. My mic got turned off, and who knows how long it's been turned off. But basically, I cleaned everything out. I got it all cleaned up. I figured it all out. I got everything fit back in there. I am down a tray. I have no plants up here. And so that was my goal. And I'll figure out, I guess, this hour video when my sound went off. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.